us. First of all, I'm Raymond Oswald. I'm the VP and curator for the Negro League Baseball Museum, and we've been pleased to run this show buck right on time since early November, and the show only has a few more weeks, but we've been very fortunate to have Mr. O'Neill's life and legacy here, as he would have been 100 last November, and this exhibit celebrates that. We've been fortunate to work with some great artists who have been inspired by Buck's life and legacy. And you get a 2-for-1 this evening, as we've had some other artists in the show come and do some nice presentations, but we have 2 this evening, and we're very pleased to have them. We have Reen Patterson here, who's a sculptor of the piece that's in the case, and she's brought along some nice show and tell pieces, including an additional piece, and I'm just fascinated to see her slideshow of how she creates some of the work. And Reen has been very kind to come and kind of show off some of her things. She wasn't really going to talk, but she has had a few words she just wants to say before we get going, and then we'll get with Rob Haydom, and I'll introduce Rob in a second. But let's welcome Reen.
Hello. I'm generally not a public speaker, so I wasn't going to speak, but I know how much this place meant to Buck, and so I thought I'm going to muster up the courage, and I kind of wrote down, so hopefully this will make sense. My name is Reen Patterson. My sculptures are made to honor grandparents. My business is called For the Love of Grandparents. If you Google Love of Grandparents, you can find my website. My sculptures are a 3D snapshot of Grandma and Grandpa, together doing what they love to do, fly fishing, golfing, or whatever. I titled my sculpture of Buck and Nora, Kansas City's grandparents, and I will quickly explain why. After some research, I was surprised to find out that Buck and Nora had no children. I thought, how sad. They would have been wonderful grandparents. Then it occurred to me they had played the role of grandparents to thousands of people in their lifetime. So I decided to sculpt them and call it Kansas City's honorary grandparents. Buck and Nora embodied the essence of why I sculpt grandparents. Also, they remind me of my own grandparents who were close to similar age. Like my grandparents, they were devoted to God and each other. They were people who chose to do the right thing no matter who was watching. They had an inner compass that was locked on self-respect and respect and love for their fellow man. Buck and Nora were real heroes, a real role model that children need. They reflected God's love in their love for each other and the way they treated friends and strangers. They rose above self-pity even when life was unfair. Even though I never met Buck, I felt like I knew him. I know the kind of man he was. His kind spirit leapt out from the TV or radio. You could feel his warmth, and his smile and laughter were contagious. When I was preparing to start my sculpture, I read a quote by Buck. I wrote it down and hung it in my studio. I felt it summarized what my work as an artist is all about. The quote reads, "This thing is about love, and that's what it's all about." Buck O'Neill. Thank you.
That was fantastic. I think, and what was great about that is, I think a lot of people didn't know Mrs. O'Neill, but she was a teacher. And she was a teacher in the Kansas City area for a long time. So that point about grandparents for a lot of folks, it really resonates with her because she really worked with a lot of young people. So I think that's fantastic. You really summed them up very well. So thank you very much, and thanks for contributing to the exhibit. Now,